Welcome to the Alchemy Lounge, where we dismantle manifestation myths, rewrite your success codes, and activate your highest reality. I'm Victoriaquance, your intuitive alchemist, blending science, soul, and strategy, so the extraordinary becomes your everyday. If you're ready to rip up the rulebook and unfuck your life, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hello, beautifuls, and welcome to day 3. It's the final day already, and I hope you've been enjoying this space as much as I have. I love these kind of community spaces. They meet my core human need for connection. Hopefully they meet your need for belonging as well. And it's been lovely to seeing like the impact of these teachings and these transmissions and the juicy goodness that you're kind of taken away from it, which is exactly why I run these spaces, so that you then have the knowledge, you have the awareness to then make informed decisions about what is going to help you make those transitions and make those changes in your life. So today is the A from our DNA. So Wednesday was D for diary destruction and your relationship with time. Then yesterday we had naughty neuroscience and how your brain and your body are working together. And then today is all about authenticity, or audacious authenticity, even better. So what I would love to invite you to do before we start any of the activities today is I want you to come forward in this group space as you, the real you, not the version of you who is the mask, not the version of you who you feel you should be, not the version of you who is actually keeping you in the same place, not the version of you who is keeping you safe by not making any changes and transitioning into your full potential. Not that version. Postman's here again every time. Bear with, ladies. I'm back. I think me and the postal service have some sort of telepathic connection going on, and they know when I am on either a call or video or in the middle of recording something. It's magic how it happens. So we're showing up today as the authentic version of you, your most favorite version of you. And if you remember, I think it was on day 1 when I was talking about your higher self or your future self or your next level self. She feels far away because we've put that descriptor in front. Whereas actually, it's like she's sat right next to you and she's like, hello, like, is it my turn yet? Like, come on, you've had your moment. This version of you, only you will know how long this particular version of you has been in the limelight and running the show. And it's probably longer than necessary. But I do also appreciate whenever we evolve, whenever we go through an evolution, those of you that have been following my journey will have seen my own personal evolution, which has been insane over the last 5 years, but even more so over like the last 6 months. So not only did I close down the previous version of the business and rebrand and get married and change my name, all of that was a huge grieving process as well. Like closing down the previous version of the business was like a soul destruction. Because that version of me, that version of Vix Marie, was like my little girl. And to put her away was just, it was really upset. It was a grieving process. But even when I look at pictures of her, you know, she looked different. She had short red hair and she was a little bit bigger. But she's a beautiful part of me. She's not gone, but she's not the one that is now making the decisions. And that's the key thing, because if you are making any decisions from an outdated version of you, then nothing's going to change. You're going to keep yourself in the past. Completely in demand today because my phone just rang as well. So this version of me is in demand. The postman wants a piece of me. Car garages want a piece of me. Brilliant. So check in with yourself. Who are you showing up as today? I want you to be in this space for the last day as your most favourite version of you, the badass version of you, the audacious version of you, who knows what she wants and she shows the universe. You make your moves and just look what happens around you. So as much as it might feel scary, if it feels scary to make any changes, to make any big decisions that could potentially change your life, and you know that they're going to cause a shift, that scariness is because the version of you right now knows that that means they're out. Because this version of you sat here right now is not the version of you that's going to hold that and deal with that and handle that. So we've got to let it go. So you can step into that next version of you now. And when I say next, literally she is next to you. Take one step sideways and you step into her. And see how she shows up. So as always, you know the drill now. I will pop your little assessment in for the day. And your rewards for today as well. And because it is our last day in here, I will reveal what offers are available to you. They're only available for a short amount of time. They are only available to those of you in here. You will not see these offers publicly because they are your reward for doing these 3 days. So they won't be anywhere else. My email subscribers get different offers. They get better offers, if you like, than what is out to the public. But you guys in here get ones that are even better than that. So I will share those with you throughout the day as well. As usual, we will have voice drops, downloads, transmissions coming through for you. And the more, again, that you can give in this space, any of you that haven't yet been present, let me feel into your energy, put yourself out into the discussion space, and let's have an amazing final day. Okay, my loves, I will speak to you soon. Mwah! Okay, my love, so let's talk about identity. Now, for most of us, we feel that we change based on what we do. And the hard work, the hustle, the grind, doing more gets more. And you can do all that. You can increase your input and output. But your body, your brain, your mind, your subconscious is going to filter your reality anyway based on what it expects. So if you are someone who identifies as, a struggling entrepreneur, or for me, when I really strongly identified as like the independent single woman, then your brain will actively block the opportunities because they feel foreign. So if you are someone who is that struggling entrepreneur and that's what you identify as, that it's hard to get clients, it's hard to have a successful business, your brain will actively block wealth opportunities for you to connect with new like-minded clients because it feels foreign, it feels unfamiliar. Like when I was identifying as the independent single woman, sounds very sexy, very exciting, my brain was actively blocking the opportunities for love, for connection, for commitment, because it wasn't familiar to me. Whereas when you embody your already, I don't want to say your already successful self, because you are all already successful, but when you embody that version that you want to be, your best self, your favorite self, your brain will actively seek and accept all those lovely things as normal. And we've touched on this when we were talking about time and collapsing timelines. We touched on this yesterday when we spoke about your neuroscience as well. When you've got a vision board and you have all those wonderful pictures on there, the idea is that then your brain starts to seek those out. But as you've probably heard me bang on about, it depends if you actually made your vision board effectively and you're actually using it effectively for that to work. However, that is the idea behind it. So if you look at the top earners, if you like, they aren't constantly grinding to become successful. What they do is they are saturating their environment, their choices, and their presence with a success identity. They dress differently. They anchor their next self, one that's sat next to them, into their reality. They make decisions from that best level version of them, not based on their current limitations. If you are ever making choices and decisions or investments from the version of you that has limitations and is in lack, you're going to continue to attract more of that, because you will then seek out the lack and the limitations in the decision that you've just made. Because remember, your brain will always prove you right. So if you're making a decision or an investment or a choice from a mindset and a position and an identity of lack and limitation, your brain will then go into that experience looking for lack and limitation. So those people that you see and you're like, oh, they're really successful, they're really happy, they're really in love, they're enjoying themselves, they're making loads of money. We are not chasing opportunities, we're drawing them in because our frequency locks them in. So right now, your identity will either be reinforcing your limitations or it will be unlocking success and achievement effortlessly. So only you know which version is at play right now. You'll be able to tell really, really easily. So let me know, are you currently in your limited identity or are you in your unlocked success identity? We want to act from that place. This is where you will hear people say, like, act as if, and it's not pretending. I think this is where people go wrong with this. They start to pretend and do things like pretending like they're that person, but their frequency hasn't actually matched up to it. So the universe knows you can't lie about your frequency and your energy. Whereas what we're talking about is so much deeper than that, because it's actually changing your neurological patterns, as we spoke about yesterday. You're changing your timelines, like we spoke about on Wednesday, and you are actually physically recoding, recalibrating, and embodying that version. You're not pretending, because she's right here. You have a choice to make today, whether you are actually going to take her hand and run with it, or if you're going to stay in the same spaces that you've been in for however long you've been in your current reality for. So let me know how this lands. Let me know what you feel when you listen to this. And there's a few other things I want to say around this topic, but I'll split them into separate voice notes for you. And as always, any downloads or transmissions that come through that are needed for anyone in particular, I will drop those in as well. So this has just come through. So I don't know who this is for, but there is somebody, or maybe a few of you, who don't know who they are. And I see this a lot, and I completely understand and realize where it comes from, because there is so much noise around us. And, you know, especially for women in business or women in the corporate world, that we are instructed, we are told, we are molded into different versions of ourselves and how we are expected to show up and how we feel we should behave and what we should say and all of these things, that over time it dissolves your essence and who you are. But whoever this is for, I just want you to know that your soul is never dissolved. Your soul is so incredibly powerful. And like the visualization that I have, it's like someone who is in a cage and like they're rattling the bars, wanting to come out. And I just want to give you the permission. I feel whoever this is for needs that external validation for someone to say, it's okay to let the real you out. Let her be seen. Let her be heard. Any of you that have ever done any witch wound work with me will know that we carry these generational scars with us. We carry them in our DNA, in our epigenetics. But it's okay for you to be you, because when you do that, when you allow that identity to come forward, all the things that are as part of your soul contract, all the things that are destined for you can then show up. But if you're smothered, if you're hidden, if you're molded into this abstract version of you that isn't real, then she can't see the things that are meant for the real you because she won't recognize them. Does that make sense? So this is a permission slip for anyone who needs it to let the real you out. It's okay to have boundaries and standards and to assert yourself and to say what you really feel. Because as soon as you do that, you step back into your power, you step back into your birthright, and you can experience all the wonderful things that you are meant to experience here. And my last little activations for you. So we have touched on this already, but when we are looking at your identity, you've got 3 different layers, okay, that you want to be aware of. Those of you who are similar to me and into your astrology, or who have worked with me before, or those of you that work with me one-on-one, know that we look at your astrological chart because your sun, moon and rising signs also reflect what I'm about to tell you. So we have your surface persona. Okay, that is your external presence. It is the you that you present out to the world. It is the voice that you use when you are with others. And if you are in business, it's your branding as well, if you have a personal brand. Okay, so you have your surface persona. You also have your subconscious persona. Okay, so that is beneath the surface. That is where there may be some tangled wires, because remember, they're not blocks. You may have some patterns in your subconscious that are impacting on who you are being portrayed as. And if you're ever not sure like who you are, it's because some wires in your subconscious have got tangled along the way. And like I said this morning, it's because of all the noise and everything else that we have going on that we sometimes forget who we are. So that's going to sit in your subconscious. And then you've also got your energetic persona. So who you are on a soul level and an energetic level that goes way beyond your physical body. And this is where your magnetism comes from. This is where your frequency comes from. This is where your soul path comes from. This is where your emotions originate from. And when you feel like something is off, it's coming from this soul level, this energetic persona. Now, we want to work with all 3. You want to identify what is going on at each particular level. If you've got anything on the subconscious level that is holding you back or being repeated in your life, then we want to remove that in your belief system, which we can rewire with the Get Unfucked rewiring. That's what we want to do. And on an energetic level, that's where working on your frequency is really beneficial, because this is when Either you are struggling to attract the right thing or the thing that you want, or you're attracting it and then you're losing it again. That's when there's that energetic identity mismatch. You don't actually identify with having that thing or being someone who has that thing or does that thing. Okay, so it's an energetic persona mismatch. So they are the 3 layers that you need to be aware of moving forward and that you want to be connecting into. But a little challenge for you, thinking about that next version of you sat right next to you, ready for you to muscle on into. Make one move this evening, if you can, or over the weekend, that aligns with that best you. Okay? If you are in business, raise your prices to reflect your true value and worth, or shift your branding and your voice. If there is anyone around you that is limiting you or draining you, reassess that relationship. Step into that next frequency upgrade. Because as soon as you do, everything around you is going to shift. Okay? And just remember, everything we've gone through this last 3 days, it's just a tiny little snippet, scratch of the surface, but I hope it has still been beneficial for you. And remember, you're not ever chasing success or chasing your manifestations or chasing wealth, chasing love. You just have to become it. That's it. As straightforward as that. And whatever method you use to get there, whether it's mine or you find something else that's going to help you, that is all you need to remember. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like and subscribe, and then step deeper into my world. Inside my Facebook group, Manifestation Myths, The Science and Success Codes by VQ, you'll gain deeper insights, exclusive activations, and live experiences with me. And if you're ready for full mastery of your business and lifestyle, explore my latest offers at vqlifestyle.com. Until next time, remember who the fuck you are, live exquisitely, and lead exceptionally.